we are with Harrison Stafford, Groundation in Nice. You're just landing from Mauritius and Réunion Island.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, and I was the beginning of the tour.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of traveling from California. You can imagine there's lots of flights and lots of hours in the plane to get to get to Réunion and Mauritius. But it's very beautiful. You know, the island life, you know, a lot of the people in the next generation in Groundation is Jamaican.
Yes.
So island energy is like home for them. The weather is great. The people are sweet. It seems like reggae music coming from Jamaica. It really works very well on an island.
All right.
Because people on the island are usually more connected to the planet because they only have a small amount of space.
Do you think they are more connecting than the planet than others in the planet? Or?
Yeah.
Really?
When it comes to overpopulation, when it comes to pollution, when it comes to trash, you know, garbage.
All right.
The sustainability of an island is very finite. It's very small. So you have to think about that. You have to think about your footprint. As opposed to in America, we can have all the trash we want in California, and they can ship it to the landfills far away, and we don't see that.
It's why you can surf in Réunion Island right now. It's forbidden to surf.
Right, because of the shark and all these things.
Exactly. A lot of rubbish and things, and so there are many sharks right now.
Attracts them.
Yeah.
Right. And Mauritius is very different than Réunion. Mauritius is more like Jamaica. I would say that Réunion has a lot stronger economy. Like from the French, looks like a first world island, you know, like Hawaii in America. But Mauritius looks more like Jamaica.
Really?
When you're driving around, there's more poor people. You can see the
it's
zinc
what we
fence.
heard. I never been there.
Yeah, you can see the people. And like Wani, you know, the bass player, Groundation, he comes from, you know, the rough part of Jamaica. So he's like, yo, it's like
my house.
Yeah, he's like, it's real ghetto people, you know?
Same thing.
It's like, you know, so we really feel that spirit on the islands.
And you're just landing in Nice?
Yeah, we're landing in Charles de Gaulle, Paris.
Paris first,
just,
because the beginning, did you start with the tour in US, or you start the Europe directly?
No, in Europe. In fact, in US, we don't even go to US until next year.
Really?
February.
So this is the third concert of the new
next generation tour. Yeah, exactly. We did some touring in the summer.
All right.
And originally, the summer tour was supposed to be like a week, maybe 2 weeks. But they kept getting more. They want Groundation. And so we ended up doing a month.
All right.
In August, before the album.
Okay.
But the album was released, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago.
We heard about
some songs. Exactly. And tonight we played the whole album.
Yeah.
So it was very, which is very, it's a challenge because most people have not heard the music and to play.
With so many people
singing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
It's like Father and Child, the last.
Right.
Not the last, but almost.
Right. Yep.
Beautiful song.
Yeah, very different. It's not really a reggae song. It's like a true ballad.
Yeah,
a true ballad,
exactly.
like a jazz ballad.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's not reggae.
So you talk about the next generation. Who is or who are exactly? I heard during the concert you talk about
the musician,
but who is the next generation? The
musician. Yeah, I mean, the next generation has many meanings. Obviously, it's the name of the new album.
Exactly, and what does it mean exactly?
The next generation
for you
is presenting new musicians.
Okay.
But what it's really doing lyrically, what the album is about, the concept of the album, is coming from a miracle. A miracle was the last Groundation album, and a miracle was about the Empress, about the female, the mother of creation.
Okay.
So from the female and the male and female comes the child.
All right.
So what are we going to give to our child? What are we going to pass on to our children that's going to give them strength for the future, which looks very challenging, and what is going to be a little bit of warning about things that we've been doing? Like tonight we played the song Fossil Fuels.
Yeah.
Things that are proven to be wrong.
Exactly.
And you can't continue to do a wrong thing.
Is it about, because I know you've got some kids?
Sure, kids, yeah, of course.
And is it, they are small and...
5, 4, and 2.
So you got three kids.
3 kids.
So you think this album is for them?
Sure, yeah. It's for them and for all of us.
Yeah, for sure. But
and we're all children the same way, Father and child is me a father and my child, But I also come from a father.
And you talk a lot about environment and
Yeah.
the fossil fuel.
Right.
And what do you think of the direction that we took, everyone? What can we do in our level?
Well, we have to either get political
Yeah.
and start voicing what we want politically, like voting and doing these things locally and also nationally.
You are for the vote.
I am for the vote,
Yeah.
but I am also for civil disobedience.
All right.
And going out on the street,
All right.
protesting. I was there protesting against the Desert Storm and the invasions of Iraq and these things.
Do you think about the revolution can be non-violent or should be violent?
It's up to the powers that be. The political powers,
Yes.
the economic powers, it's up to them if it's going to be violent. I don't believe in massing together armed soldiers to go and kill people and do things. But it really, in the end, is up to the powers. And the powers seem to be squeezing the people.
And the sort of terrorism also.
You mean politically?
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, in a way.
And economically.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's a wrong thing for so few to have so many.
Yeah,
right?
Sure. Too many
There's
people
only
got money and
there is not an infinite amount of money
yeah, sure.
in our economic system. It's only a finite amount. So if one person has $14 billion, then that's 14 billion that's not in the economy.
That is true.
It's not for anybody to have. And so you have these poor people, and it seems like in this moment we're going back. And these people with the power and the money just want to take, and squeeze the people. And maybe the people will get violent. Maybe they will.
At this moment, yes.
But it seems like only when it gets very serious, I mean, it even took generations for slaves to revolt.
All right.
And imagine the pressure of slavery. Being removed from your family and your loved ones and your blood and beaten and brutalized every day. And it takes generations to fight back against that.
And do you think, I've got a question about the politic, as in 78 in Jamaica with the One Love Peace concert with Bob Marley, you remember?
Sure.
I think it was the year where you born.
No, I was born before then, but
Really?
very soon.
Okay, soon.
Very soon.
And like Beastie Boys in 96 with the Tibetan, for the freedom in Tibet.
Right?
And I know you're Jew and American. Do you think you can have a role to play in peace building in Palestine and Israel?
Sure.
And can we maybe do a concert like Bob
Yeah,
Marley and Beastie
Yeah, I
Boys,
would
maybe to
love
do
that.
something?
I would love that. Yeah, that would be...
Do you think it's possible to make peace?
I think that the only way to make peace and to have a concert even is to have the cooperation of the Israeli political system, and they are not into supporting any peace. You can see that by their foreign policies.
Sure.
So you certainly can't make a concert just working with the Palestinians because they don't have
Anything.
They don't have the equipment to have
Sure.
a concert, and
Sure.
you'd have to work with Israel to make something happen, and they don't want
And-
that to happen.
And organize maybe that in US, like because the
Like
Beastie
to
Boys
make-
did it in San Francisco
Sure.
in '96.
Right.
Maybe start to the US and maybe
Sure. I mean, it's a dangerous thing. I
Yeah.
have an album that was released under Professor called Madness.
Yeah,
It's about
I heard-
Palestine and whatnot, and people were afraid of the album.
really.
Yeah, American Jews and things. I mean, even if you're not for Israel and the foreign policies of Israel as a nation, to go out,
It's
they
hard
will
for you,
call
though.
they will call you anti-Semitic.
Okay.
You a Jew, they would call anti-Semitic if you speak out about Israel.
Okay.
So it's very
Yeah, it's
tough.
it's hard for you
Yeah.
to get the good words, to don't hurt anyone,
Right,
And
and
to
not
do the-
hurt anybody. It's not easy.
and have the role to peace building also.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's an ongoing struggle, but
Right.
but we're not going in the right way now. Politically, in America, in France, in Germany, in Brazil, we're not going in the right direction. We're going backwards, at a time, 2018, at a time when we need to really progress.
Yeah, sure.
And get serious about the environment and get serious about peace and these things. You find that Palestine and what takes place in Israel and the occupied West Bank is reverberating around the whole entire area. And problems in Lebanon and Turkey and Syria and Iraq and Egypt, these places. It comes from there. A lot of it. So there's a lot of work to do. And you asked about the next generation.
Yeah, exactly.
You asked about the musicians
Yeah, exactly.
and them. And let's talk about them because they're great.
Yeah, sure. And I've got a question more about your music. You play a fusion between roots reggae and jazz. I know you're jazz player at the beginning. Your father was
my father. Yeah, my father.
Pianist.
Yep, jazz piano player. My grandfather saxophone. So jazz was like the first music I heard. Reggae music was my first love.
All right.
Jazz music I got from my father. From my first being born. And Miles Davis and Charlie Parker and Duke Ellington. That was the music that I knew.
And which artist has the biggest influence on your career? How you start to be a musician? Which artist?
Yeah, Bob Marley. I mean, actually, the first artist was Michael Jackson.
Really?
Yeah, it was Michael Jackson. Yeah, Michael Jackson is incredible,
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and when he went off the wall and when Thriller, these albums came out, when I was a little kid, I would be in line with my mom waiting for the album to come out and buy it firsthand and sit there and open it up in the little black and white of he and Paul McCartney and Right. So Michael Jackson was my first musical inspiration, and then Bob Marley after that.
And if you got one album of roots reggae and one album, your top one of roots reggae and your top one in jazz.
Wow.
I know it's bit hard, but
when I was young, I would say that Bob Marley's Survival, was the album, and probably Miles Davis, The Sorcerer.
And Miles Davis.
Yeah, The Sorcerer is the album.
And did you hear a lot? Your father is playing a lot at home, I think. He's pianist training, and so.
Yeah, started listening to him, and here, and my father was like really, really. I mean, he still is, but brilliant. For me, I really practiced a lot, and I went to school for jazz and learned all the chords and everything. And my father a little bit, but my father's ear is amazing. From when he was like 3 years old, he would hear a little melody. This is like the 1940s.
All right.
You'd hear a little melody on the radio, and then you go to the piano.
And
it made sense. He said that he didn't know what it was, but he knew where all the sounds were.
Like the musical ear.
Yeah.
That's what I don't know if it's the same in English, but the...
Right. We would say perfect pitch.
Yeah.
Where you just know that, that's an A flat. You can't tell it's an A flat? No.
Directly.
But you could just tell what it is, and it was amazing. Yeah, he has a great talent.
So cool. Do you think your music could have an impact on the next generation?
I hope so. That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, when you go see Groundation, we're not jump, doing these things or talking about smoke marijuana, or party, we're talking about the things that are going to lift up
conscience.
Yeah, and it's focused.
Yeah, sure.
It's conscious.
Sure.
About good things, but it's focused. Yeah, on really looking at where we are and looking at where we want to be. And if we want to be truly in a place of harmony and love, we're not going in that direction. And you can see that we're not going in that direction. So these are the things we need to do to change the path that we're on so that the next generation can have a hopeful future instead of, I don't know if you have children.
I've got one.
Yeah, how old?
He's 13.
13.
Yeah, so
they're getting nervous.
Yeah, exactly.
13-year-olds are getting nervous.
Yeah,
man.
Exactly.
They're worried.
Yeah.
About what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't know what to do.
It's what
they don't know what to do. It's so
every time.
It's so frightening.
Exactly.
And we talk about the ones who have to do it.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. Afroman Radio is a free and an independent radio, web radio. So if you can do a bigger for us,
sure.
It's Afroman Radio.
Afroman.
Yeah, Afroman Radio.
All right. Afroman Radio. Yeah, this is Groundation. Harrison Stafford wishing everybody nothing but love and blessings every day. One love.
Peace.
Yeah,
Thank you
man.
very much, Harrison.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
We should all aim to live a life of sustainability instead of burning Earth's resources while polluting the sea.